welcome to Meet the Parents. Before we get into this week's podcast episode, we would like to tell you about our sponsors, NI Travel News. That's the newspaper right there. NI Travel News are your go-to paper for all of, would you believe it, the NI Travel News. All local and international travelling information. There are competitions in there. There's a US pullout in this one that tells you all about 28 pages. We've already discussed how many states there are, and I can't remember. So it's your last chance to enter the Aer Lingus flight competition and the competition for the Rabbit Hotel dinner for a family of 4. We've still to go to the Rabbit Hotel. I think it looks class.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to have to pick that in.
It looks lovely.
Yeah.
You can enter via the website or pick up your latest edition in ground coffee. With NI Travel News, Sean has bagged himself a nice wee holiday to Malta. Are you happy to leave your family to go away to Malta and have a great time, are you?
You literally stole all my lines. Like, you've done the whole read yourself there.
That's all right. It's because I'm very smart.
You are. Yeah, I'm going to Malta next week. By the time this comes out.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Haven't done any research yet. I went to Amsterdam last week and I got there and I still hadn't Googled what there was to do. So I just went to the bar.
He still doesn't know what there is to do because you didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything.
You just went to bed.
I know. Our flight was delayed for 7 hours. We were stuck in the airport.
We just bumped into Andrew Ryan before this recording, who is another comedian obviously who Sean shared a room with, and he was all to me, I'm never sharing a room with your husband again. He went to bed at 10 o'clock. They were in
with 3 women. So
yeah, at least that was
just
good
all
fun.
the orgasm noises, just whatever noises they are, I don't know. But
I think the reason you're going on this PR trip to Malta is because flights are soon to be from Belfast to Malta. I think there's a new flight.
Yeah.
Channel,
even though I'm flying out of Dublin, which is weird because I think the flights are actually, by the time this episode comes out, I think the flights are going from Malta
from Belfast to Malta, which is handy. You've never been there, I've never been there. Can't wait for you to tell me all about it.
Don't even know where it is.
It's in Malta.
It's
in Malta. NITravelNews.com for
home
all
of Maltesers.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
That is not true, is it?
No.
Okay. It might have been true, I don't know.
No. It is where malt comes from though.
Okay, stop it.
It's not. It could be. I don't know.
Thank you again to NI Travel News for sponsoring.
Pick up your copy today.
I also need to tell you before we go any further about Sunny Side Up, which is our latest show, which is in the Lyric Theatre, Belfast, from the 10th to the 20th of April. So if you're lucky, you might still be able to get some tickets. It's a dark comedy about a couple's journey to having a family. It's a very funny, fast-paced, mental show where I play all 3,965 of the characters because I'm mad about myself. It'd be great to see you guys there. And if you've been following our podcast so far, then you know about our own fertility journey and having our kids through IVF. And that's like the loose sort of choppings of the storyline. And Sunny Side Up, see you there. Our guest this week is a fabulous comedian who is up to do a few gigs in the north. We're very excited to have her here. It's Emma Doran.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, thanks for making the journey.
How are you?
It's pretty close.
You didn't
actually
make it for us, did you? You didn't make the journey for us. You made it for the Empire, but you.
Oh, it's close.
An hour and a half, 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
That's
Aye.
close.
It's close than Cork. It's
You
close
lived
than
in America.
Galway.
Well, you can't say somewhere's not that far just by saying another place. It can be.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, Malta's 3 hours away.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I suppose, it's further than my corner shop, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a really good benchmark for this. Will I go to the shop or will I go to meet the parents?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a nice little day out for me, isn't it?
You're doing a few gigs whilst you're up here?
I am. So I'm doing the Empire and Lavery's, and then I'm back in May in the Limelight to do my own show,
May the 5th.
Dilemma.
May the 5th be with you.
May the 5th, yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remember because I
Dilemma
didn't.
tour.
I just said May. I said May and kind of stalled it out. Yeah, May the 5th.
Am I going full Rain Man? But that's a Sunday night.
It is
Yes.
Sunday night.
What about me? I only know that because I'm also
I
on tour
didn't know that.
at the same time. Oh, it is a Sunday night?
Yeah.
Are you regretting that now?
I wish
Sunday
I'd
night
been
gigs
asked.
will be the best.
Sunday
Do you
night's
think?
the new Saturday night in Belfast.
Okay, good.
Is that not a bank holiday weekend?
Oh,
Yeah.
May,
it is,
okay,
yeah.
good.
So
good.
I think
okay.
is the marathon on the Sunday? The marathon's on the Sunday, so there you go. So people will be hammered after one drink at your gig.
Oh, brilliant.
'Cause
Yes.
they'll have all
Okay,
done the marathon.
good.
Things so much funnier after 26.2 miles.
Oh, brilliant. Okay,
when you live in
good.
Belfast, you have to do the marathon every year. That's the new thing they brought in from the peace process.
Oh, that everyone does it.
You have to do the marathon.
Do I have to do it if I come up too early? No.
Just don't come up till about 6. You'll be
Okay,
fine. You'll miss
okay,
it. You'll
good.
miss it. It'll
Thank
be
God.
good. Do you run? Do you?
I do go to the gym, but I don't run. Legs are too short. I'm 5'2". I'm not built for running.
You can run without needing to get somewhere, though. Do you like you're like my legs are too short? That mean like you can just run in circles.
Yeah, well, I could sprint when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, in school.
Yeah.
Like not like good, but long distance, I just puke. Can't. But
Running is
I did
so,
used to smoke, so that could have been
so
it.
crap.
It is.
It's the most boring of the movements.
It really is. Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I don't mind weights and stuff, but the running, no.
I've been
Boring.
threatening to start the Couch to 5K for a wee while, only because we have the comedians boxing in a few months.
See, I would love to do that.
Emma,
I
we
would
should
love
do.
it.
You should have put your name down. Do it next year.
I said it to Mickey, but I think he was hammered. I met him in Galway and I
No
said, Mickey, I
way.
need to get on that.
Don't believe you.
Because I box once a week. So I have this, my toxic trait is I think I can box.
Right.
And I would love to do it.
Are you doing like a boxer size class or boxing?
Oh, like boxercise.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm probably one
You're
of the
basically
youngest in
dancing.
the class. But let me believe I can box. Oh, I'd love to do it. Who could I be against?
Me.
Are you
There's
not?
a massive height difference.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it matters.
There's a height difference at the minute between you and Brona Diamond.
I'm fighting Brona Diamond and she's very small, but I
Okay.
think the fact that
That's
you...
rude. Now that's the first dig that you've thrown there.
What did I say?
Oh,
very
it's
small.
starting
She's
already.
very
That's
small.
it.
I'd love to be very small. She's probably running around saying I'm very tall.
All right.
The bitch.
So how tall is she?
I think she's
5
about
foot?
No,
Ooh.
she's
Taller?
about 5'4", I'd say.
Okay.
But I'm 5'10". Come at me, bitch.
I see. Look at you with the attitude. I'm 5'10". Just the
5'10".
shoulders kind
Yeah.
of went up there.
And here, not gonna lie, exercised twice in the past 6 months. So come at me, Bruna. No, I think she'll give me a good fight. But you could fight.
Who's small?
Who's wee? There's no wee girls. You could fight a wee boy.
Yeah, I was just is there any of the fellas that are real small?
Who could you fight? Oh, you could fight Shane or something, but he's fighting you.
Yeah. Next year though, you could do it next year.
Yeah,
Fight
We
love
could
Shane.
do
to.
North versus South.
That'd be
Wouldn't
good.
that be good?
That'd be good.
That'd be good.
Wouldn't
yeah.
it?
I'd love it.
Who would you bring with you? Who do you think would be good? Well, who are the Southern comedians? You can't have
Oh.
Chris Kent
Why?
because he's an actual boxer.
Used to be.
Used to be.
Okay.
He's too good.
Yeah.
But I can't bring him. Who would be good? Tom O'Mahony probably be good. You know him?
Yes.
Yeah, he seems scrappy
He used
to
to
me.
fight MMA, I think.
He's
Oh, there's a few of them. Adam Burke and Ross Brown. There's a few of them that
They've
used to
used to
wrestle.
fight?
They used to wrestle. There's a weird crossover.
What is the
with,
crossover?
I don't know. I think it's
Maybe because whenever they used to fight, people would laugh at them.
yeah. I think that's what it is.
Moving
yeah.
to people seem to laugh at me moving to stand up.
Ross Brown's tall though, isn't he? Isn't he like 6 foot something?
Yeah, he's tall. Yeah, well, everyone's tall to me. I'm just like, oh yeah, tall. No, I'm sure we could get a bus of them.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, I would love that.
That would be really good.
Yeah.
Is there not a thing? I saw Justine Stafford did a thing last year and it was like, it was a Eurovision thing the comedians did.
Yes,
Did you do that?
I did that.
You did that too?
Yes, but I presented it, which is like the
Okay.
easy one because they all like write their own songs, go off and record them.
They put lots of work into
Yeah,
it.
and I was just presenting, which was fine for
Yeah.
me. But they put in full work, like costume, backup dancers, some of them. It started getting really like people really wanted to win. And they
Yeah.
were throwing everything at it, you know. Like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it started to get competitive now. At the start, it was just for a bit of crack, but yeah, I think it's on again this year.
There seems
But
to
I'm
be
not doing it, so fuck
this
them.
appetite up here now for people who just want to watch comedians just
Just doing things.
make an asshole out of themselves.
Because you did darts recently as well,
Sean
didn't you?
organised the darts.
It was great, wasn't it?
It was carnage.
Yeah.
It was silly. We all got really drunk. It was
But
like
that's what you have to be,
18
don't
to
you, for
30 holiday.
darts? Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
For
to be
4
for
hours.
darts.
It was brilliant. It was really, really good. And then there's the panel show that we're doing in a few months' time too in the box. And there's a lot of silliness
Stars in the
happening.
Rise we did as well. Stars in the Rise was good.
Yeah, for
was
the
good fun.
Yeah.
tea with me,
Yeah,
Stars
yeah.
in the Rise.
Do you all like each other?
No.
Or is it just pure money making
It's just
rackets?
money.
Okay.
Money-making.
Yeah, yeah.
Just money.
Getting out of the house.
Yeah, because we don't really. There's
You
none
don't
of
like
this,
each other downside.
No, not at all. But there's none of this like camaraderie doing stuff together at all.
Is there not?
No.
Are you not friends with any of the comedians?
Oh yeah, but it's just too. I don't know. It's
To
too
get
competitive.
gig.
People are just like, no, I have tickets to sell. No, fuck
Yeah,
off, fuck off.
yeah.
Yeah. The Eurovision thing is the only thing. I think.
Who are you most friendly with out of the comedians? I mean, you started doing a podcast
Oh, with Deirdre.
with Deirdre.
Yeah, she's mental.
I know.
She's
Yeah.
so lovely though, isn't she?
We loved watching you on LOL.
Oh, I was
We
really
love-
bad at it.
You were great on it.
I couldn't do it though. I was like, couldn't do
So
it.
for anyone who hasn't watched it, it's Last One Laughing. It's
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime. It's
Yeah.
which we didn't realise until after we watched it, is that it's all over the world. There's all
Yes.
different. There's loads of them.
Yes, so they've done it in like Brazil, Germany, France, everywhere, loads of places, Australia, and so yeah, it's 10 comedians in a house, kind of like a Big Brother house, and you have to try and make each other laugh, but you can't laugh.
Yeah.
So impossible.
What I
everyone's
love seeing
deranged.
though is that most people got booted out by laughing at themselves.
Yes.
People would make a joke and they go, huh. And then that would be it. And I'm like, so how narcissistic are we all as comedians?
Yeah.
That everyone was getting themselves kicked out by laughing at their own joke.
Yeah, because it's the anticipation of I'm going to say something funny now.
And
I
then
found it
got-
so hard.
Towards the end too, didn't they get to the point where it just got like if your lip went up a little bit, you were out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
they had to
no
get
choice.
picky because
Yeah.
people were doing too well, I assume.
Oh,
People would
yeah.
still be
it
there
was
now, like-
It was going on hours because I suppose spoiler alert, I got kicked out really early.
Yeah.
And although I'd been in there for a few hours, so I was in the little room with Graham Norton, and sure he has his gin, he has his wine, and he was like, "Do you want to have a drink?" And I was like, "Go on, I'll have a drink," because I thought once I was the first out, everyone would kind of keep.
Yes.
You know, we'd all
Coming
be-
out quite quickly.
Yeah. No, not at all. I was in there with him for hours.
Before the next person was out.
I was hammered. They even stopped the show in the house to give them food because they were worried about them because it was going on so long.
Oh.
We didn't get food.
Oh.
They forgot about us. We kept
Oh, you and Graham
drinking.
didn't get fed?
No. And then Tony Cantwell came in and Amy Huberman. We just kept drinking. By the end of it, I thought a different person had won. And I went and congratulated that person. Like, had to be escorted off the premises, like balubas. Went home, my fellow was in bed. You know that thing of like, I grabbed his face and just with a warm breath and told him everything that happened.
Yeah. Just like word vomited on him, everything that happened. Did you tell me the right person that won?
No idea until the next day we'd go and do our talking heads. And they started talking about the winner. And I was like, oh, fuck. I thought it was someone else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hammered. Hammered.
So, I don't care, spoiler it. Deirdre won.
Deirdre won.
Deirdre won. And it was
No!
Jason Byrne.
Jason
Jason
Byrne.
Byrne.
It was Deirdre and Jason Byrne on the last
so I
day.
had thought I thought Deirdre had won. So I went up to congratulate Deirdre.
I'm really drunk
And
right
I
now.
said, I was like, Deirdre, you were the winner all along. You were fantastic. And Jason's just there, so he must have thought I was being a right
Passive
little-
aggressive.
Yeah. Deirdre's the winner forever. Woo, Deirdre. So I didn't know until the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Why did I think Deirdre won as well?
Don't know.
Was she
It
maybe
was
deserving
close.
of winning? It was very close.
Yeah,
It was.
maybe it was just when it finally ended. It kind of nearly doesn't matter at the
Yeah, it
end then
didn't
because they
matter,
kind of did
yeah.
the confetti and it was all like whatever. But you won't see me at the end because I'm hammered.
Yes.
Everyone
okay.
else is walking through the tunnel like, well,
Sniffing the confetti.
yeah, no, I'm just like licking a wall or something. I'm finished. But no, it was good fun.
So when it got to a point, didn't it, where people could just go out and like do bits of material to everybody?
Yes.
What was that like? Performing and watching, knowing you couldn't laugh, because that's a comedian's worst nightmare, obviously.
Performing to other comedians.
Yeah, so we all had bits where we had pre-prepared what we were going to do on stage, but you had to wait to get like the okay from the producer because they couldn't have everyone just like running
Yeah.
through to the stage because that was the bit where you could probably like compose yourself and not laugh. So
Yeah.
everyone kind of wanted to do that stuff. But when somebody went on stage, most of the time, it wasn't that difficult. Because for a comedian not to laugh at another comedian
Exactly.
on stage
That's
is like the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was actually
It would be the stuff
fine.
that would catch you off guard that might make you laugh. But if somebody's
Yes.
on purpose trying to make you laugh,
you're
you wouldn't.
fine.
Yeah.
So at the start, people were being nice, and when someone would get off stage or finish a performance, people would say, "Oh, that was very good."
But they didn't mean it.
But but they would kind of like at the start, like, as in, I would have laughed if I could have. That was very good. But then as it went on, nobody cared.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. That was
Because there was
it
some
was
random
cringy.
stuff. Because Aisling B did a song, A Woman's Heart. She sang A Woman's Heart.
Yeah, and she's yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That was
that was
funny.
funny. That was funny because then sometimes you found you'd do that thing of you'd be tempted to laugh just to break the tension.
Which is the worst, yeah. Because then you
Yeah.
just get caught.
So you were laughing for all different kinds of reasons, or even I was like, oh, I do a thing of like I laugh and smile to like basically tell someone to fuck off. Like I just go
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and then I kind of walk away, and I was catching myself doing those kind of smiles and laughs. So yeah, it was all different types of laughs
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
wasn't expecting at all.
Do you think you could do it?
Last one laughing?
Yeah.
Or not laugh?
Not laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see backstage at gigs though? Do you not see like where you're watching a comedian, then the comedian comes off and you're like, well done, that was brilliant, that was so funny, but you didn't actually laugh once.
No,
You're
I know.
just-
Yes.
It's just
You're like dissecting it.
the theory of it, or do you know the seeing it on paper almost.
But I get really silly giddy
Oh, you do, yeah.
and like a wee bit weird. Like it's get like really just really giddy. Where
Yeah.
probably need medicine or something. But like, do you know? It's like why? And I think that would happen to me. I would take a laughing attack.
Well, you know, Dave McSavage, he got hypnotized before so that he wouldn't laugh. So he took it really seriously. So
He got hypnotized
Before the show?
before the show.
No way.
So he showed me on his phone, he had these recordings.
Did they hypnotize him to put the fucking beans in his pocket? Because
So this is
was the
it.
rarest thing.
So they hypnotized him so he wouldn't laugh, and he had all these recordings. I assume kind of like in Friends when Chandler is getting
Yeah,
hypnotized. Not
you're
to
a
smoke.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah.
strong,
You're a
confident
strong,
woman.
independent woman.
But then when he came to do the show, he was so serious.
Mm-hmm.
See, because you still need to have like the funny side of yourself to make people laugh. And like, yeah, he starts putting beans in his pocket.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like he was putting on makeup for about an hour or something. I don't know what he was doing, but like
right.
he lost his mind.
Yes, but
Yeah.
also very early. I think the first
Yeah.
thing he did was put beans in his pocket and then eat them with a spoon from his own pocket, and it was like all I could think about. And it's there's like textures and stuff that I hate, and I was like,
Yeah.
them wet beans are and has up against his thigh.
Yes.
And for some people, they might enjoy that, but for me, as a guy, would not like a wet bean up against my thigh.
No,
And then
I'd love that. I would love that. That's Christmas.
it's so dirty. I didn't realise how dirty that sounded until I said it.
Being able to flick it too would be.
Like a wet bean.
yeah. So we had hours of fun with the beans, but I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
believe he put them in his pocket.
It's
And
Megan.
he never brought it up again. He just filled the pocket, and he
That's
never.
what's funny about it though.
Yeah,
Psychopath.
no, but he
You just don't
never
reference
even
it.
like bits that were edited out. He never said, because they would cut every time someone got like a yellow card or a red card, so you would have a little like chat and a laugh then.
Yeah,
let it
yeah,
all out.
yeah.
He never once said, "Oh, I'm regretting putting those beans in my pocket." Like,
I bet you thought about it the second he done it.
He's very eccentric though, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, like
yeah.
he had a breakdown, but everyone was like he was very much himself. Like nobody was like, "Is he okay?"
Yeah.
He was going to have some sort of breakdown. We
yeah.
just didn't know what type. So, yeah, he's great.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
You have 2 kids.
3.
3 kids. That's
Yes,
right. Oh my
yes.
god, that's right.
I have 3.
What age is your eldest?
20.
20.
Yeah, so she's going to be 21 in May, and then there's a 10-year gap,
Yeah,
and then he'll be 11 in May, and a 9-year-old.
that's right.
Yeah.
And do you enjoy that big gap? Or would you prefer to have bing bang bonged them?
Now, I wouldn't have bang bang bonged them because I was 18.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there
Hey,
was
bing bang bonged has it 18?
20.
20.
So it shows how much.
So
He's-
first at 20.
Yeah, first one at 20.
He
and
had 3
then
kids by the time he was 24.
24, 25.
So what was
A moment of silence.
what was the thinking behind that?
There was no thinking behind it.
Yeah,
That's why it happened.
you thought you
Yeah.
was like, this
Yeah.
is what I should do.
Yes.
Somebody told me this is what I think you should do. I think, and then it just kind of it was almost like there was no decision making when I was raised. It was almost as if like I don't get to decide anything for myself. Do you know, my parents were
Okay.
like, "This is what you're wearing. This is what you're doing. This is where we're going," and it just kind of just went on from there.
Because I think
So-
it's as well, it's when you're raised in a Catholic household and
Yes.
you're having a baby already with somebody, it's then, right, okay, so now you should get married and you should have more children and this will be your life. Do you know
Yes,
what I mean? And that
okay.
was it, wasn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. Just strict parents, and then I'm trying to almost like watch what I say and be careful how I word things and stuff. But yeah, I had 3 kids and love them all to death.
Yeah, but at the time you were-
at the time,
you-
oh, so hard,
Yes.
so hard. I'm sure you
Yeah.
in
When
the
you're
same
so
boat. Like
young.
it's yeah, because I almost feel like I didn't properly grow up until I was nearly 30, you know, and start
Yes.
actually living on my own and making decisions for myself. Whereas
Yeah.
when my first son was born, me and my partner at the time lived between the two mums and dads.
Okay.
So it was almost like we weren't even raising a child as our own. It was like everyone was almost raising them, and I was still answering to my parents, and they were telling me what to do with my own child, that kind of thing. Not in a
Right.
really violent
Yeah.
kind
No,
of way,
but
that,
yeah,
that's how it
they
was.
were like co-parenting almost with you, like because
Pretty much,
they were
yeah.
like
'Cause they were
heavily
still
involved
parenting me in a way.
Yeah,
you
'cause you were so young.
Yeah. So it was weird. But how was it for you?
Yeah, that's
Tough, yeah?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely tough. So I was 18, not planned at all. Basically, what happened was, no, I was always mad for fellas, like loved fellas, loved fellas. Okay, but I was never a great one for. So I really put an emphasis on that.
It's like you
didn't I?
don't understand how much I love the dick, guys. She just, in case anyone's mistaken.
No, but I wasn't.
Loved
I wasn't riding rings around myself, but I was always like loved fellas, mad for fellas. Okay.
Wait, here,
And-
we heard you.
Yeah.
Did you like fellas though?
Yeah, I liked fellas.
Yeah.
So my parents were quite strict, not to that extent. So my mum she's not atheist, but she's not.
A practicing Catholic.
She's not into it at all. And then my dad would have gone through periods of being like minister of the Eucharist, but still he's very much pick and mix kind of chap, but would be more traditional. So my friend had a mobile home in Courtown in Wexford. And I basically forced her into moving down there for a summer so we could just go help, like do whatever we wanted. And I was down there for about 4 days and got pregnant.
No way.
Yeah, like fell off the walls, just poof, poof, pregnant. I think because they were so strict, I was the only girl. I probably didn't realise at the time, but I probably needed rules all the time, because if I don't have rules, I'll just go.
Do what you want.
I'll
Yeah.
just go mad. I need.
And was it a rebellious thing too? Almost as if like because there was so many rules, or it was
I
quite
think,
strict?
yeah, not getting pregnant. Like I wouldn't have wanted to have gotten pregnant, but I suppose definitely what was leading up to it was me like rebelling or whatever. But as far as I was concerned, I just wanted to have fun, whatever. So I found out pretty quick I was pregnant. I just knew. I was like, oh, I just had a bad feeling. And then I basically found out, and I was in like my last year of school. I was doing my leaving cert.
Yeah.
So that was extra thing then, because my daughter was due in May and I had to do my leaving. So I had her.
So was that in May as well, then I presume,
Yeah.
at the end of the year?
So then I had her, and then it was like 13 days later I did the leaving. So
Jesus.
it was insane. But my parents were very supportive in the sense, like I never heard. I was really afraid that my dad was going to be like disappointed, or that I'd be a disappointment. But the only thing I ever really heard him say about it at the time initially was, he said, "Oh, I quite like the idea of being a granda." So like very like sweet supportive,
That's how it was with me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were really good about it. My mom was more. She was really supportive, but she was more grey, because I think just being a woman, like she'd be so supportive, and she went to all the appointments with me. But then every so often she'd kind of stop and go, "But how did you?" Oh, it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
What were you think? Oh, it doesn't matter. You're like,
Yeah.
that kind
And
of
then she
thing.
said, because she's a woman, she's like, I know exactly what you have to go through now, and you're
Exactly.
you're her child, and you're her only girl.
Yes.
She's going, for fuck's sake, you have to go through pregnancy now. You have to go through childbirth now.
Yes.
You're only my baby. Do you know, she's probably thinking that.
Exactly, yeah. I think, like, my dad was probably a bit more black and white. Like, oh, well, we love her, we're going to love her baby. That's the end of that. Whereas my mom was kind of thinking about, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. She's
Yeah.
thinking of all the stuff you'll have to do. Like,
Yeah.
the pregnancy's only really the start of it. That's what she's thinking. So, I had her and did the leaving, and then went to college in the September.
Did you?
Yeah. But
so
like
your parents helped you loads then? They were able to help you with with your daughter?
So they helped me, but they were very much like, I remember when I was doing my leaving cert, like I would come home from an exam and my mum would hand my daughter to me because she didn't want to take over.
Yeah.
So she was like, it's not my child. And she's like, it's too easy for the lines to get blurred. Like you, if you're living at home with parents and you're a parent, it's very easy for them
To just take
To
over.
just do
take
what-
over,
yeah.
and she didn't want to do that. So she was quite like, I wouldn't say strict, but she was quite good at that, like, right there you are now. And I think even I remember, I'd say it was like oh, I don't know, maybe home from the hospital like 3 days or something. And they're like, okay, we're going out. And I was like, what? Where are you going?
Yeah.
But they really were like, no, we're going out so that she knows
Yeah.
that she is well able to be on her own with
Mm-hmm.
her baby now. Like that she, you know, because you could get quite used to
Yeah.
never being on your own.
And then
or
it becomes
whatever.
a problem to have to be on your own then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what to do or whatever. And yeah. And then, yeah, I think, but like, I kind of relate to what you're saying. I like went to college because I thought like, oh, that's what I'm meant to do. So you have this huge responsibility. So you kind of go, I definitely spent a good few years I wouldn't say going through the motions, but definitely doing stuff that I thought I'll do this because I should do this or
Yeah.
I'm meant to do this. Like this will make people happy. This will kind of, in my eyes, if I go to college now and I get my degree, that will kind of rectify the big,
Yeah, this whole situation.
the big
yeah.
oopsie that I
Yeah.
did there.
Yeah.
So
And did you finish at uni?
yeah, I did a degree in business and arts management.
That's
And
brilliant. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
With,
did
with
the
a wee
4
baby
years.
so young, like it is, and you're so young too, that's a lot to.
I didn't do. I would really for the first like couple of years. I really did nothing else. I would go to like the freshers things. I
Yeah.
would go to them, but I had this rule like that where I would make sure that I wouldn't drink after 12, and then I would probably go about 1:30. So that because I knew I'd be up early the next morning.
Yeah.
So like real discipline. But I'd say the last year was probably the year where I was starting to like. It was almost like the Incredible Hulk. I was starting to like come back to myself because she was
Yeah.
getting older. I kind of feel like, oh, this is like
Yeah.
loosening up a bit.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like
I
sniffing
know, I'm
out the
still
dick
waiting
again.
on that Incredible Hulk moment. I'm still waiting on that.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, totally does.
Yeah, like we stayed for Paddy's Day there. We stayed with Dion's brother and his family.
Oh, yeah.
And they have 3 girls. They're like, what, 3, 6 and 7 or something like that?
No, 3, 6, and 8.
Yeah. And because ours are like, what,
Well,
9 months old
and
and
2.
almost 3.
Yeah, that's
It was
tough.
like we were still babysitting almost. We were doing everything, you know, like with them. Like
You're in that
we had to
mode.
look out for every movement.
Whereas their
And
ones can just
their
run
ones
around and play, and we were
just
like,
went and
imagine.
played the whole time. We were like, this is on the horizon. This is so close. We just
Yeah.
have
We're
to
like-
ride the wave.
It's because ours are still at the age where they're a hazard.
Yeah.
Yes.
24/7. Like Rocky is 9 months and he constantly just wants to stand up and everything, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you're gonna fall in the next few seconds, and he
Yeah.
just constantly falls. But he constantly falls on his bum, and he must have an arse like me. He's well cushioned because he lands, but he's fine.
You put him on the like we put him in the bath, but because our daughter is older, we fill the bath up a bit more for her.
Yes.
So you're constantly holding him in the bath. But then recently I
Oh,
discovered
yeah.
I was like, if you bath them separately, you can put a little bit of water in and then put him in and leave him. But I did that recently and it worked 3 or 4 times. But then one time last week, he was playing in the bath and he farted and scared himself and he ended up slipping back onto his back and banged his head. And it was the most like chaotic 3
Oh,
seconds of his
yeah.
life, but it was hilarious.
He
But I
was
was like
fine, like
cradling him and laughing while
Yeah.
also being like, I hope you're not too hurt. You know, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
it's wild. Yes.
Oh, and your poor back with all those baths. All
I
those
know.
baths.
Oh, I know. My back's still broke just from like my kids are still so wee that they're constantly always like,
Yeah.
both of them in your arms. You know, they're not at the stage yet where they're like, don't come
Or
up in
just
your
all
arms.
this, even when they do get a little bit bigger and they're holding your hand, walking, they're just constantly pulling on your arm. Oh, yeah, no, soon it will be good.
Yeah, soon like you
Yeah.
That's
can
what we keep
play.
telling ourselves.
Oh, when
just-
it happens so quickly, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
So then there's that big gap from having your
Yes.
first child to having your second. So what, nearly 10 years, nearly 10 years.
10 years, yeah. 10 years, pretty much. They're both May babies, so nearly like bang on 10 years.
And how was your daughter when then you had that, like, there's 10 years and it's just been her?
Yes.
What was she like then,
So at
another baby?
first, it was just me and her for so long.
Yeah.
And then I met me fella who I'm with now. So she was about like 4 or 5. And then say we moved in together after about a year and a half. So that was actually okay because I think that's always like a worry. I'd never introduced her to anybody
Yeah.
at all. I was like, oh no. And then I introduced her to him. And I was like real worried that I was like, oh, how am I going to like manage my time between him and her? Because it had all been so separate before we lived together. And then I was like, oh, it's all meshed into one. But then what happened was the two of them basically, and still do now, just bully me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because
That's how
like,
they bond.
Do you
That's how
think they need
bond.
that though? Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, what's the thing we both have in common? They just started bullying me from the
They
get go.
hate you.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen. So then, so I got pregnant when she was, say, 9 or whatever. And she was great. She was really excited because I thought, 10. I was like, that's a long time not to have any siblings now.
All of a sudden have siblings.
All of a sudden have siblings or whatever. But no, she was great. She really, I can't think of her ever being like sulky about it or, no, I think she was fine.
Ours are fine too for now, but there's I'm waiting on a time that there might be like a big put him down and do something with me or give me that. Do you know what I mean? Like, but there hasn't been any of the signs of that yet.
Yes.
But, it could be around the corner.
Sometimes
sure.
she would say to her brothers now, so like say 10 years on, she's 20, she would kind of hint like they don't know how good they have it. They didn't have you when you were like mental is what she says.
And you love the lads.
Yeah, but I think I love the lads. Yeah, but I think she as well. Her other theory is that part of it is gender. So 2 boys, and then her being a girl. I don't know.
But then she also had you to herself.
She had me all to herself. Yeah.
What more can she want?
Exactly.
She's
And
so
do you think
rich.
maybe she wouldn't be as jealous too because you had 2 boys, whereas if you'd have had a girl, maybe there
Might
would
have
have
been
been a bit
different. Yeah. I think
How was that like building a relationship with your partner and your daughter? Because I have 3 stepsons as well,
Yes.
and like it takes a long time for that to become like it took years before me and the boys started even hugging and stuff. Because I didn't want to
Okay.
overstep any boundaries
Yes.
with their mum and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So it took a long time for that to be normal in our house.
Yeah, it honestly, but the 2 of them, so they were like, she had her little Nintendo DS, which I knew nothing about, but he would start playing little his pet shop with her and stuff, and she just started to wrap him round her little finger, but in a nice
Right.
way. So there was this game at the time, was it Moshi Monsters or something? You know, like
Yes.
like it's like
I
a
remember
Club
that.
Penguin or something.
Yeah.
And I remember like coming back from a gig one night and I was like, what are you doing? Like he's on the laptop and it's like, oh, you know, it's a kid's game. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to sort out the Smushy Monsters for Ella. And I was like, oh, she has you
Yeah.
completely wrapped around her little finger. But now her dad, she does see him, but she wouldn't have seen him like, it wouldn't have been like an every weekend kind of thing. And maybe it's different with the dads. I don't know. I can understand now with the mother of children.
But I
you'd
think
be
as well because
cautious.
the boy's mother is there
All the time,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like they live with her as well, so it wasn't
Okay.
necessarily like it was. Maybe your partner wouldn't have felt so much about overstepping the boundaries because he's there more.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what I mean?
there. Yeah, probably. And I think maybe as well, maybe women might be a bit more sensitive to the nuances
I think so.
of like motherhood and
Yeah.
all the unsaid stuff that's
Yeah.
around the
And not
emotions
wanting
of that.
to step
Yes.
on each other's toes and stuff, and maybe not wanting anyone to feel like there's a new woman taking over your kids, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think like what you come into is really must be really hard to navigate and just try and make sure that everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been tricky over the years, but I think we've got into a real flow of it and everything sort of slotted in.
we mastered it.
We
in the
figured
end,
it all
didn't we?
out.
But for a while, it was kind of a wee bit just.
Everyone's new
You
to
didn't know
it.
what your
and
job was,
Yeah.
and you didn't know it. Like even like I always said to the boys too, I was like, just call her Diona. You know, this is Diona. Just that's what
Yes.
she'll always be to you is
They
Diona.
kept
You
calling me
know.
asshole, and I was like, it's Dion. They're pronouncing it wrong.
Okay,
Yeah.
just the way they're saying it.
Yeah, but it's Irish. It's must be because it's Irish.
Like Diona
Yeah.
would be like, "Good night, everyone." They're like, "It's Londonderry, bitch." Like they were
Yeah.
just really horrible to her at times, but it's
They
good.
were. They really were.
Do you know what I thought was harder? For me, it was actually the harder thing was being in a relationship.
I know what you mean.
Like that
you-
was actually the harder thing, or like living with somebody. I'd never
Yeah.
lived with somebody before. I'd done everything by myself.
Yeah.
So I think that was actually the harder thing because then we moved in together, and now this years ago. But I was making like these huge dinners, and he's like, "Who's all? Is someone coming over? Who's all the food
Yeah,
for?"
yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know. I'm just making the
Yeah,
dinners
you're
my
like-
mom used to make." Like I was just trying to like
Yeah.
be my mom.
Be
or
the
something.
mum.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
he's like, I'm never going to eat all of this, and I was like, you have to fucking eat it. But then this
I
is
know
broken.
you're trying. It's like you're playing house.
Yeah.
the start, isn't
yeah.
it?
Playing house and trying to do things, and I just kept buying cushions, and he's like, we don't need any more cushions. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what
remember
to
when
do.
we first moved in together thinking it was dead exciting going to the grocery shop and all.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I'm like grown up and then
Yeah.
like, because like whenever I was for years living as a student, like you don't
Yeah.
really do a grocery shop. You might just go to like Spar and buy like whatever for
Yes.
dinner that day, you know. But when you actually go to your first grocery shop, you're like, I am really living, aren't I? I'm like such a grown up. And now
Yeah.
I can think of anything worse than going to the grocery shop.
Yeah. You're playing house. That's totally what it is at the
Yeah.
start.
Then you realise house is shit.
Yeah, because it's every day.
Yeah, it's all the time.
Yeah.
Why am I still playing house?
You're always just getting milk and bread constantly. You're just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what the fuck is wrong?
Always Cheerios on our floor too.
Always.
You need to get a dog. That's what we did.
We had a cat, but cats don't eat Cheerios.
No, you need a dog.
That's where we went wrong.
No.
Get a dog.
I'd rather Cheerios
Or
on the floor.
if we eat cat food
Yeah.
and we don't.
Do you
know
want
what
the if
we
we
drop it,
drop
it'll
it,
be
he'll
fine.
eat it.
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah.
Just
do
just eat cat food. Yeah.
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 How long have you been doing stand up for?
10 years.
Yeah.
So actually, it was when I was pregnant. After that 10-year gap, I think I was just like, I would. It wasn't really stand up, but I wanted to do like something performing, something funny, but I didn't know. Like I thought stand up was like really shut off to everybody,
Aye.
and then I didn't realize how easy it was because you know they would have seen like the stand ups on the telly, but didn't really know about like the
You
club.
just go to
Open
clubs.
mic and
Yeah.
stuff.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't like going out to the like clubs, pubs on like a Tuesday night in town or whatever. And then I was like, I started like looking it up online. I was like, oh, there's places you can go. And I signed up for it. And I thought it was going to be like 8 Mile, like Eminem.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's what I thought it was going to be like real.
Palms are sweaty.
Yeah.
You're going on there already.
You will lose yourself and be puking at the side or whatever. And then I went and I was like, oh, this is so grand. I was like, okay. But I think it was when I got pregnant again. So that now I'm like in a relationship. It's planned. I'm all like happy out. I think I was just like, oh, fuck, like that 10 years went really fast. And I actually haven't done anything really. I'd done little bits of like, I'd done little like tiny little bits of like telly stuff, but then I think I was like, oh, I need to actually do something because if I don't, the next 10 years is going to go past. And I was too embarrassed to kind of say that I wanted to do things, and I was just kind of hoping that somebody was going to ask me to do something. Do you know, like
Yes.
when you were.
Like Marilyn Monroe gets discovered in a coffee shop.
Everyone's getting discovered. This is what
Yeah.
used to really piss me off.
Like
every
Charlize Theron's
biography-
like, I was just walking through an airport and some guy handed me his card and next thing you know I'm at the Oscars and you're like, fuck you Charlene, right? I'm in
Yeah.
the pavilion on a Monday night.
Exactly. That's what everyone says. Nobody says they went out of their way to do anything.
do it.
Everyone is just getting
Discovered.
discovered. So I kind of thought it was like, do you remember when you were a kid and you'd be in a shop? I don't know if you did this, but if I didn't have money for sweets, I used to stand at the sweets looking sad and hope that somebody would buy me sweets.
Really?
Yeah. Did you not do that?
Yeah.
No,
Literal
I
sugar
just used
daddy.
to steal them.
Oh, well, that actually is a much better idea. But I used to do that thing of like, I just look at them sad and then I'm like, who was going to buy you sweets? Like,
And did nobody
tell
buy
her.
you sweets?
No one bought
right,
me
so that's when you
sweets, yeah.
decided you shouldn't do acting.
No, that's what I decided. I can't be just waiting there.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, you said that my acting wasn't good enough. That I should have been looking. I wasn't looking sad
Yeah,
enough.
if you looked sadder.
Oh
You
yeah.
should have
Right,
went
I
out to the roads and looked for people that own vans and went, could I have some sweets?
Yeah. I know. I
It
should
makes it easier
have.
for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have done.
So I just decided then. So I was I? No, I had just had Joe, and I signed up for an open mic night, and I think my poor Shane thought it was postpartum or something because
Yeah.
I was like, I think he was like 6 weeks old, and I was like, I'm going to signed up to do stand up, and he's like, great. He's just like, what is she talking about now?
That is the maddest thing to do, like for the first time when your baby's 6 weeks old.
Yeah. But I think my first time round was so traumatic that the second time round was so easy.
Yeah.
Because I had a baby and I was like, I don't have to do any exams. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my
Oh, yeah,
God. I was
yeah.
like, this is
You're like,
a
I'll
piece of
create
cake.
an exam.
Yeah. It was so easy. I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, this is grand.
Do you know, that's what I almost feel like, because our first time, like whenever we had winter, like our daughter too, it was so traumatic. It was like COVID and she was a really unsettled baby. So then whenever we had Rocky and he was really easy, it was just like, is this what people experience all the time when they have kids? Because this is like
Okay, so,
so
was he
easy.
like sleeping and stuff? And you were like,
great wee sleeper, great feeder, happy all the time, laughed at everything, was never
Home
any
birth as
bother.
well,
We did a
home
home
birth.
birth. He was just like
Yeah.
dream wee baby, still is.
home birth.
Yeah, I did it in my living room.
It's amazing.
And our sofa will still tell the tale because my guts are still on the sofa. Haven't
Yeah.
cleaned that sofa yet.
And how long were you in labour?
2.5 hours.
Oh, so quick.
It was
Yeah.
18 hours the first time and 2.5 hours the second time.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was
I was
great.
just about to go on stage and I got a text and I was like, my
He was
water
at a
supply
gig.
broke. Yeah.
Yeah. And he went, no, you didn't go on.
Oh, my
I did, I
God.
did.
Oh, did you go on?
Yeah, I did like 10 minutes and then just went home. I was supposed to
How good.
MC, so I'd have been there for the night.
He did the gig anyway. That's fine.
But I was
You're
going to stay
sitting.
for the whole gig because the first time you went into labour, it was almost 24 hours,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
So I was
okay.
like, I could easily just do this whole gig and then
Come
go
back.
home. And technically I could have, but I'm glad I was there for the majority of it.
Yeah, and it
was
was
great.
like,
Oh,
we
wow.
do feel like that is even a factored into why our child is so easygoing and so
Oh,
settled.
wow,
He just came
yeah.
into the world into our living room. And
And
was
then
just
we
like,
just lay up on the couch and had a glass of champagne like an hour later
great.
while the midwives were
great.
down the kitchen just filling out paperwork.
but genuinely recently, did you
was
like
great.
flip the cushions in the sofa or something? Or at the end you were all, oh, we forgot to clean. They're still covered in blood.
Yeah.
We should get
Lucky
those
you
washed.
don't have a dog. I wouldn't be like to be
flipped
giving
them.
birth in the sitting room with a dog trying
No.
to get its hands on the afterbirth. You know
You've
what I
eaten
mean?
your placenta. I was going to
Yeah.
eat my placenta.
No.
Not eat it, but you remember I was going to get it made into
No.
capsules. Aye.
No.
What?
Bollocksology.
And as pile of shite, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, you're literally eating your own shite. It's waste.
Well, that is true.
It's waste. It's bodily waste.
But it wasn't waste 5 minutes ago when your child was eating from it.
I don't want to look at these people that use mirrors and all. No.
To look at their placenta or their dick.
No, and touch. No. I don't want to know.
When you were giving birth.
Wouldn't touch anything.
Oh, I felt his head
No.
with my hand.
I would need to be in
You've been in
denial.
the nunnery for 2. Not her riding rings around her and she wouldn't even touch her
No,
own
and I've had natural births.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
Yeah.
squeamish about the pain, but the whole
You didn't want to feel the head coming out. I could not wait.
No.
And I'll tell you something. I think about that every day. Every day
No.
I am reminded about feeling his skull coming out my dit. And it's weird.
Too much.
And I remember just, because you're almost going like, okay, we're near done.
no,
A couple more
I have
minutes
to
and we're
be
done.
in denial. I can't accept that that's actually what happens. I couldn't.
That's mad.
I would no.
I think it pulled him out, didn't it?
I think
No.
you did, yeah.
did, Paul.
I think you did. Under the water.
Now that I think about that is really...
We had the pool and everything.
Yeah.
We're in the pool in the living room, aye.
So you
Still
had
there.
a bit to do. You had to pump the pool up,
He
get
did.
the water in the pool,
He did.
put out all the covers.
Yeah.
Should have covered the sofa. Because
Yeah.
then I went and had lie down in the
We
sofa.
did cover the
Did
sofa,
we?
but just not enough.
Just
it
not
was
enough.
just towels instead of like
Yeah,
proper.
because well, it's endless, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
really was.
yeah.
It is.
Yes. And then, do you remember I don't know if you've ever said this in the podcast, and actually if anyone's squeamish, turn away now. But do you remember the next day, or was it that night, or whatever it was, and you emptied the pool?
The next morning,
There was a full human organ.
it was like
We've still not figured out what it was.
a chicken breast, like a raw chicken breast.
Bigger.
But was it covered in blood?
Red.
Three times. It was, the whole thing was purple, red, like the whole thing. It was a full... I'm convinced I'm now missing an organ. We just haven't figured it out what it is yet.
Yeah.
It's a kidney. It's a kidney.
Honestly, it was like a kidney. It was this huge thing. And Sean was like, does this belong to you? And I was all, probably. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think we can put it
You
back.
should have gotten him to eat it, and then he could have given it back to you.
Yeah.
It was Willie. Do you remember? Wasn't it?
It was Willie.
Yeah. Should have done that.
But it went into the bin, and we're
The
taking
brown bin,
each,
we're not scumbags.
Yeah.
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 Into
We're
the recycle, the
back into the earth, and we're just waiting
Food
each
bin.
day to see if I survive it.
yeah.
To be honest,
I'm just thinking, it's a really good deterrent, though. You know the way when you have a baby and people think it's an open door policy and they can call whenever they want?
yes.
If I'm going to your house and you're like, that's the couch I gave birth on, I'd be like, okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, we
Thanks
haven't
so
even
much.
flipped the cushions.
Yeah.
It's just sat on the blood.
Really-
We need to do that soon
Yeah. I know, but yeah,
before we sell it.
clean the sofa. I think it's a nice wee memento.
Think so? Look at your child. That could be a memento. Do you know what I mean? They're just-
You could get a little hashtag spa and get someone out to clean
Yeah.
the couch.
We were lazy.
And these guys are so good. I gave birth on this couch and look at it now. What
Yes.
colour is the couch?
Oh my God, I need to
grey.
do some sort of paid partnership for that.
Yeah, you find somebody.
Yeah. You're on tour soon?
I'm on tour. I've started.
You're started?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on tour now.
Currently.
A lot have
And-
sold out, haven't they?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Sorry,
Yeah.
I sounded so surprised saying that. I didn't mean to. I meant it sound like
But
excited
do you know
for
what?
you, but
I have to say, now,
brilliant.
this is you're going on tour soon. So how many stand-up tours have you done?
This is my first stand-up tour.
So this is my second tour. I've done
Yeah.
shows, but this is my second tour.
Full tour, yeah.
So last year when I was doing the tour, it was more like it was like all of a sudden, let's put on a tour, and it was basically like I just got bits from sets,
Yeah,
that I've
yeah.
been working around and built the show like that. Whereas then this year, I knew from the beginning that I was getting my show together
Yeah.
and doing a tour. So it's been much more enjoyable, even the material and everything. I'm like, oh yeah. So I'm loving it. It's so much fun.
How many dates have you done so far?
I've only done 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then I have a couple now this weekend. So kind of now till the end of May, and then I'll do more October. So I'm going to do some dates in the UK and then probably go back to the places that were sold out, hopefully.
If
they'll
you're
have
doing,
me.
so you're doing UK dates, you're doing,
Yes.
when are you in Belfast?
May the
the
5th. Yeah,
May the
thing.
5th.
Do you feel like all your stuff is completely transferable? Like sometimes I'd be worried, like if you're doing something that's very local, that you'll need to like fix that.
There's a couple of bits, but I've only been like dipping my toe in the UK now because when just like kids,
Yeah.
the age there.
Yeah.
So I did Leicester Comedy Festival, and it was actually great to see what words. So like words that I would have used that I wouldn't have thought about, like the word lick. I would have described do you not use the word lick?
For like somebody who's a suck up?
Yeah.
Aye.
But
Yeah,
they didn't get that at all. So I was
Aye.
talking about my older brothers being licks, and they were like, "What's a lick?"
Yeah.
So I don't
No,
know
it wouldn't
what
be
they thought I-
massively used up here, but it is. People would know what that is.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah,
just say, or like now I'd have stuff. Well, there'd be obvious stuff. I'd have a big bit about Ireland's fittest family,
Yeah.
but I can't use that in the UK. How do you explain that show?
Is there not a UK version of that?
No. Somebody said to
Adette
me,
Lady.
it's like a cross between Country File and Gladiators. And I was like, okay. But I was like, I don't think their minds can even comprehend that one of the races is carrying buckets of potatoes. Like, it does sound made up. So there's
sometimes
some
that's better
things.
though, doing stuff that's local or that's
Well, you have to then set it up and explain.
Yeah.
It
like,
might work.
sometimes it's funny with it being explained where people have this concept now of just like country
Yeah.
file meeting gladiators.
Yeah,
it's-
I might try it and see, or like I think I'll probably just change it. But I'm probably more. I feel like I'm more aware of that now. I wouldn't like back in the day. I wouldn't have had a clue,
Yeah.
or I wouldn't have even thought like that.
Yeah. But I think it's difficult, isn't it? If you're gigging everywhere and you're like, no,
Yeah.
these are things I have to change. But a lot of the time, I think that people do just follow along, like
Yeah.
with the concepts. Do you know what I mean? You know,
But I don't mind changing some things because if the local audience is going to get it in a different way,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you
yeah.
can tell the joke differently, I don't mind that really. I think that's fun. So. I mean, that's what I'm saying today. We'll
Yeah.
see. I could end up in October going, oh my God, half of this doesn't work, but
So
I'm willing to find
the
out.
likes of you doing the Empire tonight then and Lobbies
Yeah.
tomorrow night, will you do stuff from your tour or is this completely separate or
I don't know, actually. I haven't thought about it. What do you think I should do?
Don't know.
do some of my stuff.
Will I? Have you, yeah,
do
will I
yours.
do about stuff, give birth in my sitting room?
Do it heavy. Just say,
I
do
don't
it
know,
every 2
because then
minutes.
sometimes people say, don't do stuff from your show. But then I've been told, people like then if they hear you do stuff and then go to see the show and they're like, oh yeah, you
Yeah.
know, I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
I would just do whatever you want to do. See all
Yes.
these rules that people have, because a lot of
Yeah.
comedians too don't like to like when I do the blame game. I think Neil's very much like he'll not do something in his show that was ever aired on the blame game, whereas I don't care. I'd be like, oh, that was funny. I'll put that in my show. I don't mind because
Oh,
it
yes.
works. You know,
Oh,
and
I think
also
so, big
nobody watches
time.
the blame game.
yeah, I think it's safe. Like,
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like,
But
I
even
wouldn't-
posting clips on social media too, people are like, oh, I don't want to give that away. But it doesn't matter. When you look at the
Doesn't matter.
percentage of your audience that actually see the clip,
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
actually more people that have never seen you before will have seen it than your actual followers.
then you're actually people who'll come to the gig.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
would you put out clips now before a show of what's going to be in the show, or would you wait?
I think you could do. I think
Snippets
you could
maybe,
do
as
one
long
or
as
two.
you're
Yeah.
not giving away too many like punchlines and things
Yeah.
like that. But
I think you can't
little
play
one or
it too
two.
safe. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
absolutely fine. We'll have a good one tonight and have a
Thanks,
good one
Mel.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Have a great one on May the 5th.
Dan,
Yeah.
can we stick the ticket link under this episode? Is that okay? Yeah. So we'll,
where
we'll share
where
the
are you
ticket
on the
link to
Limelight? Where are you on the May 5th?
The
Where-
Limelight.
Limelight, yeah.
Did you say that right? Happy days.
Yeah, because I do want to actually, I do want to start gigging up here more. Because I'm like, if I'm going to go to the UK, why wouldn't I go up the north?
We're in
Yeah.
Ireland. So.
But you know what I mean? Like, no, but like, I had to, my agent, I've actually left now, but I was like, they gave me all the dates for the tour, you know? And
Yeah.
I was like, it's not Belfast Day.
Oh,
And
really?
they're like,
You should do Derry as well.
and they put, yeah,
Do
that's why I want
more.
to do that
Yeah,
later.
do
But I was
more.
like, why? I was like, why not?
Yeah. There's
Like,
such an
why wouldn't I?
appetite here at the minute too for stand up. Like it's
Yeah.
thriving up
Yeah.
here. So this is the perfect time is to come up here and gig more now. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so.
genuinely, all the comedians up here are so lovely, so friendly, so supportive,
Yeah.
so helpful.
Yeah, none of us have beans in our pockets.
No one.
Only Sean. Sean's the only guy with the beans.
Oh my God, I can see which pocket as well.
Emma, thank you so much for
Thanks,
joining
Mel.
us.
Thanks for having me.
Tickets to Emma's show, the link is in the description, as well as link to Sunny Side Up and all that jazz. See you next week.